Pragya ma'am, please start.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, good morning to all of you, and welcome to today's schedule. As per the schedule, we have together with us Dr. Deepak Upadhyay. Presently, Dr. Deepak Upadhyay is working as scientist at ICR Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute, Jhansi. He has obtained his graduation from JNKVV Jabalpur and did his master's and doctorates from Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Izzatnagar. Currently, he is handling 5 research projects for goat and buffalo development. He has published more than 25 research papers, 2 books, and 4 manuals. He has received many peer recognitions such as Best Teacher Award, Best Presentation Award, Certificate of Registration for Rohilkhandi Goat Breed, and Best Student Award, and many more. So, let us over to you, Dr. Deepak, for your presentation on forest-based balanced ration for sustainable livestock production.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Dr. Pragya, ma'am. And welcome all the participants. Good morning to all of you. Today, as ma'am told that today I'm going to talk on the forage-based balanced ration for sustainable livestock production. Myself, Dr. Deepak Padhyay, and I'm belong to the discipline of livestock production and management and presently posted at IGFRI Jhansi, which is working since 1962 on development of different fodder varieties and also the improvement of the fodder quality for our country. So now let us begin with the introduction. Friends, we know that India is a country which accommodate around 17% of the human population and 10% of the livestock population, and having only a 2.29% of the land area of the world. This suggests that there is a huge pressure of land in our country. There is shortage of land, unlike the foreign counterparts. The livestock production in our country is basically integrated with the human life, and since ages we are doing this work. But at the present scenario, the demand for the animal-based food product is on increase, given so many factors like urbanization, increase in the income, increase in the human population, etc., etc. But the fact is the product demand is increasing very fast. Some literature also suggests that the demand for the meat is increasing faster than the grain demand for the grain. So to make it means that to fulfill the demand, we have to think on the feeding part of our livestock. Why? Because the feeding cost is the major cost of the livestock production. We know that 70 to 75% of the total cost may be due to the feed cost only. Therefore, to make it sustainable, we have to talk on the feeding strategies uh, for the proper inclusion of the fodder, forage component in the diet of the livestock, like green fodder and nutritious fodder, etc. But we know that crop residues like straw for from the rice, from the wheat, the wastage from the feed industries, and the stovers, etc., are the largest bulk feed material which are being fed to the livestock of our country, which is basically of poor quality. The cultivated fodders and gathered grasses are the two important source for the green fodder. You know that the cultivated fodder like the sorghum, bajra, maize, bursi, and the gathered grasses from the field or the roadside or the forest, they are the only available sources of the green fodder in our country. As I already told that the land is in short in our country, and further, if we see the scenario of the total cropped area, out of the total crop area, the devoted area for the fodder crop is only 5%, and which is a stagnant since decades. This remains remain the 5% only. It does not increase with the time. So that means that we have very means limitation for the land area for our fodder cultivation. That's why we are having shortage of the green fodder also. Supply of feed resources has always remained short, resulting in the non-realization. What it causes due to, as we do not have the good amount of the green fodder or forage component, it causes the means it hampers the real potential of the genetic stock of our country. Indeed, the it has been reported that 26 to 51%, that is huge amount, 26 to 51% of the under means this is the level to which our animals are performing under actual what they can perform actually, and they are performing below to this level only. So therefore, a balanced diet, a balanced ration, which have a good component of the forage also, is required to keep the animal healthy and productivity. So if we have to increase the sustainability of the present livestock production, and further we have to increase our production for meeting the future demand. So we have to think on balancing the ration, increasing the productivity, which is far below than the developed country. Our livestock is producing far below than the developed country. So we can increase with the help of inclusion of the feeding strategy with the balanced ration, including the green fodder component and forest component and less concentrate component. So what are the fodder resources available in our country? So on a major aspect, if we categorize them, we can categorize them in the three categories. Like first is the crop residue. So crop residues like straws, strovers, they are mainly making the major component of the fodder available to the livestock of our country. That is more than 50% of feeding demand is fulfilled with the crop residue, which is easily available to a farmer to feed to their animal. Second one is the cultivated fodder from the arable land, whether irrigated or rainfed. So mostly although we are having large number of the fodder crops, and under each fodder crop we are having different varieties also, but the major area of cultivated fodder crop, which I talked that out of total cropped area, we are having only 5% of area. Out of that area, more than 50% is accommodated with the barseem, looser, sorghum, maize, and bajra, fodder, cowpea, and oat. These few crops make more than 50% of the land area under fodder cultivation. That too, there is variation with the states also. So some states is having higher livestock productivity, like you see in Punjab, you see in Haryana. There the availability of this cultivated fodder is more. Therefore, the productivity of that particular state is the productivity of the animals of that state is more. Fodder from common property resources. Apart from them, the third resources is like fodder we are gathering from the forest for grazing lands, common pasture resources, gochar, bhumi, like etc. etc. But again, the problem here is the grazing intensity in the country is as high as 12.6 ACU per hectare of the land, which is against the zero point 0.8 ACU per hectare in developed countries. So developed country, they are having a big, large area. They are having the ranches there. They can maintain the good pasture. They can also cultivate the pastures. But we don't have such kind of luxury. So we are having means you can see that 12, 13 times more pressure in the grazing land also. That's why they are being slowly they are being deteriorated or captured by the some some other purpose also. So these are the mainly the fodder resources area in our country. So if we see the scenario of the green fodder availability and the future requirement, here some data suggests that the deficit. So definitely the deficit is there with respect to green fodder as well as dry fodder as well as concentrate. In the literature, we can see that there is a difference in the calculation, and we can see different kind of deficit have been calculated. This is from the draft report of working group on animal husbandry and dairying for 5-year plan. So they say that about deficit as of demand of green fodder only is it is around 64-65% deficit. So only 40% is available what is in demand. So that is hampering the production potential. And some other also some suggest that no, there is not 65% deficit, there is 25% deficit, 30% deficit, whatever there is, but deficit is there in with respect to the fodder availability, no doubt for that. So now we are talking about the forage based the feeding of the ration for the livestock for the sustainable livestock production. So why we are talking about that? Why this is needed? Why forage is needed? Why we cannot rear animals solely on the dry forage like straw, crop residue, and with the help of the concentrate? One thing is that concentrate makes the livestock production costlier. So we see that the for milk product or milk for the milk and meat, farmer is not getting that much price. So that he has to reduce the cost. He has to reduce the cost to make it profitable, to make the more margin in that particular area. So green fodder, inclusion of green fodder have many benefits. Like first and foremost is it is required for normal health and reproduction of all herbivores because natural diet for the animal is only the green fodder. It provides the cooling effect. It is easily digestible, more palatable, slightly laxative. It provides several nutrients, mineral, vitamins to the animal, regenerative for the which is required for the utilization of further different nutrient. It helps to maintain the ruminant motility, stimulate the microbial growth, saliva secretion, and provide the bulk required for the animal. Further, the longevity and production are adversely affected when cattle are reared on without green forest. So if we are not rearing the animal in the green forest or forest system, the longevity is affected, the production is affected adversely. In absence of the greens, further, the reproductive problems like weak calves, deformed and blind cows have also been reported when we rear the animal without the green fodder. Feeding concentrate at higher level without sufficient green forages adversely affect the digestive system of the animal in the long run. We see that we cannot feed the animal with the solely on concentrate because it will cause the acidosis to the animal. So we have to fix the amount of the green fodder also in the ration of the animal. Animal which is yielding 10 liter of milk can be maintained solely on green fodder without any complaint and reducing the feed cost by 20% over the normal dry roughage and concentrate business. See, it can reduce the cost by with the we will see the in the further slide that we have made the comparison between the different diets also with respect to the cost. So the green fodder, what does it provides? It is having several minerals, waters, oil, carbohydrate that is desirable or some undesirable also, and the vitamin growth. Some toxicants also with some kind of the fodder. They have some kind of toxicant, and that's why they have to be limited in the ration. And now we will talk about the forage-based balanced ration. So now we have seen that yes, forage is required. What is the current scenario in our country? But we have to make it to make sustainable. We have to do with the forage. So feeding of green forages and sustenance of below 10 kg daily milk is possible with only green fodder. We can sustain the production up to 10 kg milk. It has been proven with the researchers that if we only make the ration with the green fodder only, so 10 kg milk can be sustained with the help. So our mostly the livestock productivity in our country is they are not producing much higher, like production capacity of 20 kg, 25 kg. They are lesser number of animal to this capacity. All are below 10 kg. So that can be maintained with the green fodder. More than 10 kg daily milk yield, we have to make some concentrate supplementation also. So mixture of legume and cereal forage is required to balance the nutrient supply, because legumes are, they are rich in the protein content, but cereals are having rich content of the energy. So single kind of forage and balancing of nutrient. If legume supply energy rich grains and cereal supply protein, right? So we have to maintain the proper ratio of the legume and non-legume in the diet of the animal. Now this table, we can see that forage based ration for growing cows. So here I have made the from since just from the weaning age 3 to 4 months, and body weight also I have given. So what kind of the forage mixture we can provide to the animal so as to sustain its production and its growth. Like we have to mix the fodder like green oat. This is the oat and maize silage. We can provide, or silage of these crops. We can provide up to 5 kg, and with that 0.5 kg of the good hay, with that maybe of berseem or that maybe of lucerne or some other type of grasses, we have to provide the quality hay. Along with that, we can provide concentrate mixture if required. If we have some lesser quantity of these forage mixture, we can supplement it with the concentrate. But we have to not to depend solely on the concentrate. Likewise, the quantity of the green fodder like these different crop we can increase with the age. So this table suggests like if in 9 to 12 months of age, for 1 year of the age, we can provide green fodder of 15 kg along with hay, straw, dry or mixed grass 1.5 kg and 2 kg concentrate mixture. Now 12 month to conception is of body weight 200 to 300 kg. We can provide up to 20 kg of the green fodder along with the straw or dry grasses with 1 kg. Or if we have to 1 to 2 kg of the concentrate mixture, we can provide green berseem 10 kg, and along with that we have to mix it with hay or dry kind of grasses. So we cannot feed the berseem solely to the animal. We have to mix it with the hay or straw. And always we have to mix 4 kg and green fodder 5 kg. Along with that, if this scenario is there, we have to provide 2 to 3 kg of the concentrate mixture. If we reduce the quantity, so if you have abundant about a supply of the, you can make supply of the green fodder, you can reduce the amount of the concentrate. Now, what is the performance of milking cow? We have seen the growing animal and before the consumption of the animal, what is the forage requirement, what the amount of fodder is required to the animal. Now we have to see the way along with the different kind of forage. If we ad-lib supply of berseem, cowpea, hybrid napier, bajra napier or lucerne, maize, cowpea in 1:1 ratio, berseem, oat in 1:1 ratio, oat at 10% flowering stage, or guinea grass, that is the perennial grass. So supplementation is required along with the ad-lib supply, because these are the milk animal. So it depends on the milk yield only. So if the animal is producing up to 10 kg of milk, only supplementation of dry forage is required. It does not require any kind of the concentrate supply if berseem ad-lib is available. If it increases to the more than 10 kg, then concentrate mixture is required. What we talk in the thumb rule feeding, that for every 1 kg, 2.5 kg for cattle and 3 kg for the buffalo, we have to supplement. If cowpea is available, similar like berseem, 1 to 2 kg of the dry fodder and concentrate with this. But cowpea can sustain only up to 8 kg of milk yield, but berseem can sustain up to 10 kg of milk yield. So if you are feeding with the cowpea, you have to for more than 8 kg, you have to supplement with the concentrate. Then only the nutrient requirement of that animal will be fulfilled. If hybrid napier and lucerne is available at 3:1 ratio, so it can sustain up to 6 to 7 kg of milk. If maize is cowpea, it can also sustain up to 6 to 7 kg of milk. Berseem plus oat in 1:1 ratio is available. it can sustain up to 8 kg, and with the grasses you can sustain up to more than 5 kg of the milk yield. Now, if you have the Barsim or Lucerne hay, so below 10 kg milk, it can sustain with the Barsim or Lucerne hay only, and 1 kg concentrate like barley grain you can provide. Cowpea hay is available. You can provide 1 kg concentrate for the 8 to 10 kg of the milk yield. So this is about the what the forage based diet. If you are providing the forage based diet, what level of the milk yield can be sustained? This has been calculated based on the NRC nutrient requirement, and we have seen that this amount of the level of milk can be fulfilled by this kind of the forage based diet. So we have seen that. Now, we have to make the ration for the high yielding milk cow, which are producing more than 15 kg or 25 kg milk yield. So how we can prepare that based on the forage based diet? This I want to show you from this slide. Like category 1, that is 350 kg body weight, 15 kg of daily milk yield along with 4 to 5% of the fat production. So here we have to provide around 20 kg of maize, sorghum, oat, or any kind of the cereal fodder crops, and 25 kg of the leguminous, barsim, lucerne, and cowpea. Along with that, we can provide some dry fodder, wheat and rice straw, and we have to supplement of concentrate mixture having 20% of the crude protein and 72% of TDN that is required 5 kg amount per head per day. So for 15 kg daily milk yield and 350 kg body weight means a medium size animal is there. So we can provide 20 kg of the non-leguminous component, 25 kg of the leguminous, 1 kg for the dry and 5 kg of the that concentrate mixture which having 20% crude protein. But if the now here 25 kg milk yield and body weight is also 350 to 400 kg. The fat percent is similar. So here we have to increase the concentrate amount to the 8 to 9 kg along with the more crude protein percent to make the to maintain that particular milk production level. So 20 to 25 kg maize, sorghum, non-leguminous component, and 20 to 25 kg of the leguminous component daily. And for the concentrate mixture, 8 to 9 kg, that is of high protein value and high TDN value. So this is all about the forage based ration for growing animal. I have shown you. Now the heifer also I have shown you the milk normal milk yielding animal like below 10 kg we have seen. Now we have seen the high yielder. For high yielder, what we have to give on the forage based ration. Now let us have a quick view of the cost comparison of a buffalo diet. This I have taken from one paper. So here they have calculated the concentrate and straw based diet. Second is the mixed ration, which is having all three component wheat, straw, green, concentrate, and only the green forage based diet. So they have compared the cost, and they have for the total cost we can see that if we provide this type of diet, which is mostly being given to the peri-urban part of our countries, where most of that dairies are located, they are providing only concentrate along with the straw. So if you follow this practice, it requires 70 rupees. The feed cost is there. If you provide mixed ration, if you have some quantity of green fodder, so it will reduce the cost to the 60 rupees. If you are able to provide the green forage based diet, it can reduce the cost up to 42 rupees. So this shows that not only along with this, not only to provide to improve the production, it improve the reproduction, it improve the overall health of the animal, but also the inclusion of green fodder in the diet is required to reduce the cost component and make the livestock production sustainable and profitable. So the problem we have seen that yes, there is problem in growing the green fodder, but green fodder is required. Also, we have seen that green fodder is required, but there are some problems. Yes, there are practical problems. So we have to see that. For that, the solution is available. The fodder conservation part. So we at some part of we have seen that during the monsoon period in most of the pasture land, the forest area, the grazing land, there is sufficient in several part of our country. There is sufficient supply of the green fodder that is in surplus actually. So if we are able to cultivate at that time and we are able to make conserve that kind of fodder, so that can be made available during the lean period to the animal. So that will fulfill the requirement. So yes, it is possible to build the fodder reserve quality fodder supplement to utilize excess fodder during the lean period and to store enable extended use of potential unstable material and as supplement to replace the concentrate as we have seen. So we can conserve in the wet form, in the green form as a silage, or we can conserve in the hay. Depending on the our climatic condition, we can choose the option. So silage, we all know that the product of the controlled fermentation, it is produced in the anaerobic condition. Organic acid, like lactic acid and propionic, these are major acids which are providing as effect as a preservative. So what are the suitable crops? Most of you are knowing that maize, sorghum, oat and grasses. Grasses, yes. We have seen in at IGFRI also that several range grasses and also that and perennial grasses like Bajra Napier hybrid, Guinea grass, and sandgrass, they are suitable. They can be conserved as a silage. Yes, oat, sorghum, and maize. Maize is a very good crop for the that is most popular for the silage making. And oat silage is also very of very good quality. So what is the fact? What are the factors which are required for the good silage production? So primary is a water soluble carbohydrate content should be more than 7%. So we have seen that we have a table here which shows that water soluble content. And we can see that in maize it is highest 22%. In oat also it is 16. In sorghum and millets it is little bit of lower. But in case of the that leguminous crop, it is very low. So they are not able to make a good quantity of silage. Also, the buffering capacity is the affecting factor. So maize is having good 150 to 300, but legume are having higher buffering capacity. They means increases the pH. They resist the change in the pH in the silage. That's why they are, and we are unable to make the silage of that. The moisture content of the forage that should be 65 to 70%, not more than this. So this is the general information about the what kind of the silage is required. If the chaff material compact properly, then every cubic meter silage can contain 350 kg of silage. So for every cubic meter, based on that, we can calculate the requirement. Like for one animal, at 10 kg silage per day need 300 kg per month, or silo of approximate 1 cubic meter for one animal will be required. So based on that, for quantity, if you are feeding 10 kg, you require 1 cubic meter. For 20 kg, you will require 2 cubic meter. Of this size, you can prepare, or either in the below, above, different kind of designs you can make. These are the general steps. These are the quality parameters of the silage. Brown and greenish brown. It should be greenish brown in color. It should be fragile, not clumpy, and should be having a pleasant aroma of the lactic acidic smell should be there. So these are the normal attributes. So for a very good silage, the pH should be at the lower limit around 4 to 4.8. And if the pH increases, the silage qualities, we know that it will be a bad silage. And the ammonia nitrogen should be below 10% of the total nitrogen. So as I told you that Sancras ciliaris grass accession and evaluation for silage preparation, we have here prepared with the different kind of the accession different variety of sankras we have used, and we found that the silage pH of these sankras is around 4 to 4.1. That comes into the very good silage category. For this assessment, we found that 4.5 to 4.6, 4.9. So out of these three, we found that some assessments are very good for the silage. So this shows that range grasses are also having a capacity which can be considered as a silage. Sehima nervosum grass silage also we have prepared at our IGFRI, and that is possible to preserve as a. So now industry slowly the silage industry is picking up in different parts of our country, and silage producers and supplier dealers are India are daily they are increasing. Now machines are available for chaffing and packaging of the silage in the small kind of plastic packages. So in coming days, this industry will pick up, and hopefully the deficit will be reduced due to the this kind of the industry pickup. Now hay for the berseem or leguminous crop, they make a very good kind of hay for that berseem and lucerne. They are very much suitable crop, and they are highly nutritious for animal. As we have seen that only berseem hay with some supplementation concentrate, we can maintain up to the 8 liter of the milk yield for the animal. So we all know this is the general information. Further, at last, the leaf meal also, the top feed, especially for the these small ruminants, they can thrive on the leaves very good. So there we can include at some level 10 to 15% in their ration. The leaf meal can be included, like for the susbania, like subabul, the leaf meal we have tried, and also we have made a ration including the this subabul leaf meal, also the barseem hay in the ration for the goat. So IGFRI is have already prepared that ration along with inclusion of the leaf meal. So they are also in some forest like in the states like Himachal Pradesh or hilly states. There it is possible that cultivation of that leaf meal can be done, and they can be conserved as a leaf meal and include in the ration to increase the that protein content of that ration. At last, we have seen that yes, it is scientific area to feed the dairy animal, but also it is an art also with the experience. Like it is challenge also for feeding the high yielding animal, and with the increasing demand in our country, we have to further think upon the feeding strategy of the animals. So we cannot thrive the livestock production only based on the concentrate mixture or straw. So and further the challenge is that there is the limited land available, so we cannot increase. So if we can increase this area from 5% to some say like 8%, so that also will be very good, and we have to think of increasing that area and inclusion of the green fodder more and more in the livestock diet to make it more profitable for our farmer and make it sustainable for the environment. Thank you so much for your listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak, for your nice presentation. He has well explained the research work carried out at IGFRI itself and through his project also. So if there is some question by any participants, they are most welcome to ask directly or post in the chat box. Some people have raised their hands. So please, if you have some question, you can ask. So if there is no question, we will end up this session here. And in the schedule, you didn't get a afternoon session, but we have planned a special session on multimedia tools and communication skill and presentation skill. It is by Dr. Girish. He is hosting the Pusa Samachar of IERI. So it is
very good informative lecture would be there. So you all are requested to kindly join at 2:30 for the same. So it may be very useful in terms of your communication as well as presentation skill as well as the use of ICT for your research work and other things also. So be there for in the afternoon. And with that, Dr. Deepak, we are very thankful to you for giving your valuable inputs and time to this training program. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, all the participants. Thank you.
So here I am ending the meeting.
Uh,
Ma'am, we have ended the meeting. Please close the meeting.
okay, ma'am. Manage recording.